everybody, I'm back. Yes, I'm back for some vid sites and I'm back on Freakles channel. I'm your brand strategist. My name is Flavilla Fongang, and I'm so excited about this new series that I'm going to release for tech startup, for tech companies, and so much more. So I'm going to start with a series for tech startups, and I'm going to give you as much insight in a very short amount of time. So I hope you're excited. I hope you're ready to learn, and obviously, please remember to like, subscribe to our channel, and for so much more. See you soon. Everybody, part of that first series for tech startups, I'm going to talk about initial problem hypothesis, which is quite often overlooked, which explains why so many tech startups are failing within months or even a couple of years. And I want to address this because quite often, when you're disrupting a market, you are probably not figuring out exactly with clarity, are you solving the right problem? And if you can't articulate that problem, then this is the reason why you're not achieving success. So we're going to talk about that and how to make sure it is done right. The first question I want to raise is, why is customer development so important and why should it be done by the founders? The reason why is very simple. Yes, it's customer development minimize the risk of failure. And quite often, if you don't speak enough for your perceived target audience or your perceived prospect, you're gonna launch, spend all this money on branding, which is working people like me, and you realize at the end nothing works. And part of that exercise that I do quite often with our clients, like before we even figure out if we need to launch this brand, have we got our problem hypothesis right? And the closer you are to your customer, and the closer you are to your customer and their needs, the more you can really speak their language and speak what they want. But the biggest thing that I see as well quite often is that you hire too quickly a sales rep and you let them try to sell the product, for the best, and you realize a lot of things that you can do as a founder that they can't do. And they can try their best to articulate your business in the best way possible to really sell the product, but are they really giving justice to what you're trying to establish? Why exactly at the beginning the sales rep is not relevant and should be done by the founder? The first point is obviously the sales rep cannot change the product. You can. The sales rep will do his best to actually try to navigate around to really what the client wants, or maybe something that you don't do, and where you listen with the intention actually of adapting and changing as early as possible what your product offer. Hear customers' feedback and act on it. Yes, you can hear customer feedback and act on it, but the sales representation will just come and call until it gets a yes, instead of you. When you are the founder, you can really just say, okay, I'm listening, I'm getting a lot of feedback, I can act on it. While the sales rep, his job is to get the sales in, and he will try his best to convince, but he doesn't have the power, obviously, to act on it as like you do. And then pivoting, which is so important. You might think your business is supposed to solve problem A, but then as you move closer to your customer, you realize maybe I don't have the right customer target audience, or maybe I don't have the right messaging around this. This is something that you can do where your sales rep can't do. The sales rep really comes when your problem hypothesis is very clear. You know exactly that your target wants it, your target audience wants it, and their job is just to reach as many people as possible. All right, so it's very important to get this right. Perfect time to fail. This is exchanging with perfect time to fail because you're going to minimize the amount of time and also minimize the money you're going to waste trying to sell the wrong thing to the wrong person, or maybe articulating the wrong services. And I've seen that so many times, and I really hope that you don't do that, make that mistakes. So you need, the point of this hypothesis is to really to minimize the the amount of clarity, or maybe the moving from implicit to explicit. I'm explicit, I should just read it actually. So understand your market, don't guess the market, understand your market, which is so important. Understand your market and your customer pain again thereafter. Really don't try to guess what they want. Really get the words that they're saying from their mouth, so you know exactly what pain they're trying to be solved and how you are providing the solution that they need. And don't look for data but insight. This is very important. Sometimes you look too much into the data and not at the insight. It's not about data in that phase, it's really about the insight that you get from your customers. So it's not always about numbers, especially in that phase. And then what else? Insight to change your canvas. Because this insight will provide you get direct in terms of how you can re-articulate your product and maybe the features that are the most important to your customer. And maybe you get something like minimize. You don't have to launch your product with all the features, but really what are the most important that they're after, and identify the customer who actually need your solutions. Part of that exercise is really to figure out, okay, I'm probably think that my customer is A, B, C. You conduct this exercise across A, B, C target, and you realize, well, actually C is definitely not interested, B probably, and A is definitely into it. Then you have a focus. Again, it comes back to having clarity around who is your niche, who is your target audience, and therefore how can you successfully launch your product effectively. All right. So this is how you build a very strong MVP, minimum valuable product. that you can fully go to market and be able to launch, and then keep on adding on as you progress and you grow your business. People don't know what they want until you show it to them. Yes, it's very important. And I really love this, because you think about it, people will still be riding horses. They will not be cars. Okay, so really think in terms of how you're articulating your messaging and how you're asking your questions. So as a day in your life different today, after the day will give you a new product. This is the best way to ask questions that don't lead to them giving you the answers that you want. Yes. How would your life be different today if you had this new product? Yes. Try to be as ambiguous as you can be, so they don't try to give you information that you want to hear. How did your world change? Really think in terms of how the question will help them. If it didn't change, then obviously your product or your solution is not offering what they're after. Maybe you need to do some work on it to really improve that. All right, this is the first video, and I look forward to see you at the next video for some more. See you soon, everybody.